welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about organizing your book life because I am very unorganized in my book life, and first of all I need ideas, but second I have been looking up different ways that I can help keep track and organize my book life. I have a reading journal and I have Goodreads, but with this challenge it has just been feeling so chaotic. We're just gonna talk a little bit about different ways. I want to explore some new apps. People keep telling me about FABLE and I kind of want to get it and see what the big deal is. And today I want to get a lot of reading done because I have these books that I would really like to finish today if possible. So a quick little overview. We've got The Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, Perks of Being a Wallflower, Always and Forever Laura Jean, and then on Libby I borrowed the complete poems of Emily Dickinson, and it's due in 2 days and I haven't read it. So we gotta get that read because the wait time was 11 weeks and I don't have 11 weeks. I wanted to read this for the challenge specifically. I wanted to read Emily Dickinson, so that's gonna happen. So that is something that I want to get done today, but also I feel like I just need a general organization system right now, and it's just not it anymore. I do really enjoy Goodreads because it's comfortable. I've used it forever. I like that I can organize my tags, but I have noticed that there are some glitches, and for personal reasons, as it's owned by Amazon, it's just not quite what I'm looking for right now. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I want to switch over to FABLE or just have Goodreads and FABLE. I still need to figure out if I like FABLE, but people keep telling me I need to use it. Okay, so I'm looking at my desk, which is a hot mess because I was working on my book nook and I got PR mail and I got all this other stuff that I need to organize and clean up. So maybe we organize my actual life first before we organize my book life. I also have laundry that needs to get put away. There's stuff on the floor. I'm feeling very overwhelmed. So we're gonna listen to an audiobook. I'm gonna try and finish Swordcatcher in this time as part of my goal for today of finishing all these books. So we're gonna organize my life while listening to Swordcatcher, and then we will organize our book life. In this corner is stuff that I've been meaning to donate forever. Maybe I finally go to Goodwill and donate it. Finished Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, and as soon as the last line happened, I just gotta say thank you, Spotify, but I am out of audiobook hours in Spotify. Well, thanks for letting me finish the book at least. I think I would rate this a solid 3.7 out of 5 stars. Through about 70% of this book, there was way too much history and lore that I didn't feel was necessary towards the main plot, towards any of what we needed to know, and so overall that just really slowed the pace down, brought the vibe down for me, and I wasn't really enjoying any of the history or lore. But when we got to the plot and the action, I was like, wow, this is a really interesting concept. I love this. Swordcatcher follows 2 different POVs. One is through Kel's point of view, who becomes the swordcatcher for the Prince Connor, and one is for Lynn, who is the female physician, and female physicians are really looked down upon, so it's a whole scandalous thing, but she really wanted to be a doctor. And their 2 storylines sort of intersect. There's some cute romance, there is lots and lots of action. It's very fantasy political heavy, so there's a lot that has to do with this particular government and how it's run. There's also plenty of international relations, so if you're really interested in that, which I found very interesting, awesome. I do not mind a romantasy, so I'm really glad that when I went to the event 2 days ago, when I went to the event 2 days ago, she announced that there's a little spice in the second book. The romantasy part of me is very excited to read the second book. However, I will not be reading The Ragpicker King until I'm done with this challenge because this was a massive book and I am so behind now on my 100 books in 100 days challenge. But my favorite characters are probably Lynn, Louisa, I absolutely loved her. 3.7 out of 5. My dog hasn't realized that the mailman left already. Anyways, 3.7 out of 5 stars. So now I think I'm going to try and finish The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and then we're gonna do Emily Dickinson because I need to get that done. Before I get into reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower, I want to quickly talk about FABLE, which I just downloaded, and I've been kind of experimenting with it a little bit as part of trying to organize my reading. What's really interesting about FABLE is it's got like Spotify-esque, you know how in Spotify Wrapped they'll tell you these different stats? This kind of reminds me of that. It tells me my most read authors of this year, my average rating of this year, my most read genres of this year, which that is actually very fascinating. I need to expand my horizons. I've only read 5 different genres of books. It is a lot of work for keeping up things like reading streaks, but maybe that's automatic if I just update my pages. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I like that it shows me which books I read in which months. That's really awesome. And the reading goal is really great. I just think that's so cute. Look at that. I love that a lot. It's sort of like a more interactive social media platform for books than Goodreads. There's giveaways. So yeah, I'm experimenting with it a lot. If you want to be friends on FABLE, I will be posting my link in the description box below. But here's something else that I noticed on FABLE. It says that I own 278 books in my own physically tag, but on Goodreads, it says I only own like 230 something. I did import all of my Goodreads data into FABLE, which is an option, and it's so fast. It took maybe 2 minutes to just import all of that data. It was great. Ooh, one thing I really love about FABLE, there is a DNF tag so that when I do DNF a book, I don't have to say read and then put in my little review, did not finish. I hate that. I hated that about Goodreads. Okay, so I am gonna go to my library, my currently reading. I wanna check off that I finished Swordcatcher. So we're gonna go Swordcatcher and finished reading. So we're gonna do finished, save. Oh, okay, and then I can do this. So I want to do 3. Oh, y'all, I can drag to select. And I can hit did not finish if I actually didn't end up finishing it. Okay, how did this book make me feel? Oh, what? What did I just read? Okay, the number of times that I need to go back and do a bunch of books. Mind blown, surprised, nostalgic, satisfied, enlightened, amused, empowered. I think skeptical is the best option for this. How would I describe this book? Characters, like, great. Believable. Amount of world-building history / lore outweighed the plot and didn't always feel necessary to the main plot. Loved the characters. And the relationships built and developed. Curious for the second book. Yeah, I think that's good. Publish. It does not contain spoilers. So that's kind of an idea into FABLE. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna go eat some dinner, read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Hopefully we will get through a bunch of books today. It's already 5 o'clock. finished The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars because this was an incredibly captivating, well-written story. I absolutely love that it is written through the perspective of Charlie in his letters to his friend, and I love that it's so raw and vulnerable because the friend has no idea who he is, so he can just express exactly as he feels and what he's doing. This is officially one of my favorite books of all time that I have read, and I've never seen the movie. Maybe this weekend I will watch The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I quickly updated my Goodreads, of course, and I did go ahead and update Fable as well, and I really love that I can put different keywords describing the plot and the characters and the writing style. I can give half stars or 0.75 stars. I just really love how in-depth I can get into my reviews. It allows me to think more about my reviews and what I just read, which is incredible. I think with Goodreads, it always feels like a chore to write a review, but on Fable it doesn't really feel that way, and I think that's because they kind of set you up for success to write your review. It is 7:09, and I know that I want to get around to Emily Dickinson tonight, but I also want to take a little break because I have been reading for the last, I think, 4 hours between Swordcatcher and this. I don't want to take too much time in between reading because I know I want to finish Emily Dickinson as soon as possible. Taking a little break from reading, and I'm trying to organize the Fable app, and I can't. The syncing wasn't perfect, and honestly Fable is kind of confusing in its own way. Just none of the numbers match up, and it's so frustrating scrolling through trying to figure out which books are missing or which ones I need to add to this year's reading challenge, and everything's off by a couple numbers, which means I have to be very specific, and it's a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about this form of organizing. I love having an app that does it, and I love that this app does how they do the reviews, but trying to get everything set up is actually kind of a pain in the butt. It's not as easy as transferring your Goodreads over because not everything was correct. I had duplicates of some books. When I deleted them, they got removed from other shelves and things got messed up, and it didn't have all the dates that I read certain things, so my reading challenge was off. It's not a perfect system, and I understand that, but oh my god, this is really frustrating. You guys, I don't know what to do. Okay, so I am on page 80 of 247. It expires tomorrow, but then it's a 7-week wait, and I don't have 7 weeks. I am starting to think that we put this away. Save Emily Dickinson for another time. I know I wouldn't be able to finish this tonight because I do really want to take the time to enjoy each poem. I'm like looking at my bookshelves right now to see what I could maybe replace this with, and I'm not entirely sure. I think we're gonna have to put Emily Dickinson away though. Okay, we've put Emily Dickinson away. Unfortunately, that is not going to be read during the 100 Books in 100 Days challenge, and that is purely because of my poor timing. Instead, I am going to be picking up Howl's Moving Castle. Despite it being about 400 and so pages, the text is kind of spread apart, and it's a little bit larger, so I don't think this will take me forever to get through, and I can check this out on Libby as an audiobook to help me get through it. That way too, we are removing another book from my physical TBR, which is kind of the goal of this challenge. That, and of course, to raise reading awareness. Adding this to the TBR cart. Okay, now let's talk about Fable because I am really not having it with Fable right now. It's not that it's a bad app, it's actually a really great app, but getting everything on here is way more time consuming and way more difficult than I really wanted it to be, especially considering their whole thing was you can import your Goodreads to this for a quick and easy transfer. But so much stuff came out wrong. I wanted a slightly easier way with more I really like the reviews, but I wanted an easier way to organize my reading life, and I don't know if this is it. Anywho, we're gonna continue brainstorming other ways to organize my life, but for now, I'm gonna go to bed. Gute Nacht. It is the next day, and I took this morning to read a little bit. I did so much reading last night. I ended up staying up And finishing Always and Forever, Lara Jean by Jenny Han. I rated this a 5 out of 5 stars. This is probably one of my favorite books in the series. It's the first and the third. I absolutely love those. I was on chapter 7 when I started, and I just finished the rest of the book because I could not fall asleep, and that's what we decided to do. And then this morning I started and finished The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. I listened to this on audiobook while playing some Stardew Valley. I got the Stardew Valley expanded mod and I am loving it. There's so much to do. Oh, I'm so obsessed. And I've decided that the next book I'm gonna pick up is Persuasion by Jane Austen. This was supposed to be read in February and I never got around to doing it because I started mood reading my list, and so I was skipping around. Today's day 41 of the challenge as I'm filming this right now, and I've read 41 books, so numerically I'm on track. The schedule looks like I'm not because there are so many books that I should have read by this point, but then there's books in April and May that I've read. According to my schedule, I should have already read all of these books, which I have not, but it's okay. Today is gonna be a little bit of a reading day. I also have some work that I need to get done, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done today, but we still need to talk about how I want to organize my reading life because FABLE still irks me a little bit with the whole organization thing. I had this idea to make a spreadsheet on Google Sheets. I am a big spreadsheet person. I love organizing, and a color-coded spreadsheet with drop downs are my favorite thing on this planet, so maybe I will go do that. There would have to be a lot of data input anyways. I don't know, you guys. I have to figure this out. I'm gonna go do a little Google search. How to organize your reading life. Originally, I thought that I had a very organized reading life and I was gonna share my tips on how to be an organized reader, and then as I started this video, I realized that I am not an organized reader and therefore I am not qualified to share my knowledge. So we can all learn together. Okay, so I've just been doing some little research. I've been watching YouTube videos, reading blog posts about how to be organized, and turns out I'm actually pretty organized. Didn't realize it. It just feels like I'm not. So they're recommending things like, of course, Goodreads, reading journals, which I do have, and TBR carts. They also recommend Notion a lot, which I don't know if I would personally want to use. I think it's so aesthetically pleasing, but I don't actively use my devices to organize lists, that sort of thing. I just prefer paper. Like, I have a commonplace book, I've got journals that I love to write in. So after doing my research, I'll talk a little bit about what I already have, and maybe we can brainstorm ways to improve the situations. So as you guys have seen before, I have a reading journal. I got this for Christmas just this past year, so it is still new. And in here you can write all of the books that you've read, and you can have notes and memorable quotes and things like that, but I never want to fill that out. I just want to decorate it and make it look pretty. I used to have a reading journal, but I only filled it out for maybe 2 months. I did get really into filling it out for the Lockwood & Co. series because so far this year that has been my ultimate favorite series that I've read. Love the Lockwood & Co. series. That is my new comfort series. I am obsessed. And then they were talking about a TBR cart, which, as you guys know, I do have a TBR cart. It's just currently only filled with books for the 100 books challenge so that I'm not having to look on my computer, figure out which one on the list I want to read next, and then go find it on my shelf. It's on the cart and I can pull it out and start going. Once the challenge is over, I'm going to be moving any leftover books from my shelves that I haven't read into that, so it will be an official TBR cart, but for the time being it's just for the challenge. Otherwise, all of my books on my shelves that I have not read are facing away, so I can't see the spines, it's just the pages, and that's how I'm keeping track of that. So I suppose it is kind of organized, but when it comes to keeping track of my TBR, my wish list, you know, books that I don't have yet, how do I keep track of that? Because Goodreads keeps glitching. FABLE refuses to sync with Goodreads, and so I have no idea which ones are missing and which ones I need are duplicates, and it's crazy. My dream is to have the little scanner that where you scan, and then it puts onto your computer in your own little database. Would love for that. That's not gonna happen this video. Maybe sometime this year, but not during this video. I don't know where the time went, but it went away. And I don't know what I want to read. I put on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, just as an audiobook for now, while I go make my tea, because I can't decide what I want to read. Good afternoon. I'm making it my goal to try and get through as many of the Chronicles of Narnia books as I can today, but I don't feel like physically reading today, so we are doing a Stardew Valley run while listening to it on audiobook. I am on book 3 right now. I'm about 45% of the way through. I know this video is about organization, but I feel like it's almost become a reading vlog with organizing. Okay, so I played Stardew Valley for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I finished The Horse and His Boy by C.S. Lewis, and I immediately started Prince Caspian. So I do have some errands that I need to run, so I'll be listening to my audiobook. After book 4, there's only 3 left. I'm really hoping to finish this series today. We just finished Prince Caspian, so now we're on to The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It is almost 5:30, so I'll probably be staying up late to finish this series, but I am, as you know, listening to it on audiobook at 2 times speed, so that's how fast I'm getting through these ones. I can't listen to every book on 2 times speed, but children's books are usually narrated at a slower speed, so I can make them faster, but for adult books, I tend to have to listen to them at maybe 1.7. But yeah, we're scrapbooking right now. I'm doing a Universal Studios and Warner Brothers scrapbook from when I lived in LA, and so we're just getting that done. So that's what I'm doing while listening to my audiobook. So I got a lot of scrapbooking done, I got some Stardew Valley playing done, and we have finished The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So now I'm gonna go take a shower and we are gonna start the Silver Chair and hopefully also the last battle. My goal is to finish this series tonight. I will definitely be updating y'all tomorrow to let you know how everything went, whether or not we finished the series. This video ended up being a lot longer than I thought it was going to be because it turned into a reading vlog video, but when I'm doing this challenge, I feel like every video is gonna end up being a reading vlog video in some ways. Look at, he's ready for bed. We did it. We finished the rest of the Chronicles of Narnia. So I had read the first 2, I think like a couple days ago, and we read 3 through 7 yesterday. That's a lot of books. I think I was reading for about 10 or 11 hours. I rated The Horse and His Boy, I think, a 3-star, Prince Caspian a 4-star because this is so nostalgic for me. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I think I rated a 3.5. The Silver Chair was a 4, and The Last Battle was a 3.25, 3.5. So I finished reading at 1:30 last night, and I slept in because I was up so late. And that is all I have planned for today, especially now that I'm a little tired. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please show it some love by giving it a thumbs up or hitting that subscribe button down below. And as always, please remember to take care of yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!